Austin, Texas. It's week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Austin Desperados. Now, this will make it into the end zone, and they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. For the first time with Austin Eckler. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Their drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Third down.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Kaiser White. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line.
Pass intercepted. They'll take over first and 10 at the 24-yard line.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into a bigger point. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. Then he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
3. It's 3rd and 7.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
And we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got a turnover? We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
at the 5-yard line.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. Blanketed coverage by Houston. Makes it 4th down.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
Taken in the end zone. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard.
Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, here's Watson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10, as they've got things. And caught out. It's going the other way. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. It keeps moving.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That's good for 28 yards.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Quickly to the outside. That's caught by Lamb. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. So they get pushed back to the 11. And here's 2nd and goal. Back to throw again. And he will take it in for the touchdown. C.D. Lamb, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Jake Elliott on for the point after.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes it's just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
Jake Elliott.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, and pushed it past the 50-yard line so they felt they were in striking distance. And to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? First down, and they stick with Eckler. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
10-0 the score after one on EA Sports.
Colorado's 10, Texans nothing.
From the gun on third, Watson. Batted in the air, now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. A big play there. 48 yards.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to greenlight that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
That's caught. Touchdown. Hunter Henry. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money, in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Jake Elliott set to kick off.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. Fields it in the middle of the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the interception last time on the opponent's side of the field. Certainly not what they wanted.
Put it mildly, that is so frustrating because that signifies there's a drive going on. You're in a good spot. Great place to run some of your best offense. Instead, they turn the ball over.
Yeah, turned the ball over last time. See if they can avoid doing it here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Running on first down, Eckler. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. It was Jaron Reed who got him down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Inside the Colts. 20, 10, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about.
Pushing the foul, roughing the passer, defense.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over with the penalty?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that trims the lead down to 9. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Their own 24-yard line.
Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
26-yard line.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Room here to run. And touchdown. DK Metcalf. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
On for the point after.
That's a pretty quick response to that last touchdown drive. And it seemed like they may be giving up momentum. Not so fast.
No, not at all, because they ended up pushing the lead up once again, and you're exactly right. Thought momentum might have been shifting. Instead, they grabbed old Mo, didn't let him get to the opposite sideline.
Takes this about 5 yards deep. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. And now out comes Houston. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They started on the ground with Eckler, and not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. And now the throw going to Fuller, and he's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Out of the gun, Watson. Forced out to his left. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, 1st down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
The Texans on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
No coverage bust by the defense here. They did a nice job accounting for everybody, and that led to an incompletion.
Field goal, a 46-yard attempt.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will cut the lead down to 13.
Colorado's 23.
So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Boston's offense ready to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. The kick here, it's complete. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Number 81.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and he passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business.
This is caught inside the 15. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
They'll look to throw again. This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there. Unable to do so, that makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And this carries into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
Houston set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
On first down, it's Watson. And his pass, incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield. They had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Back to the air, Watson on second down. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. 3rd and 2, Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Again, it's Watson. And now Watson throws another interception. Drilling Brooks with it. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Intercepted. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So we reach halftime. time in what's been... And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The question to be asked, where does this game go from here as we are back at it now on EA Sports?
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Pretty much everything went their way offensively in the first half, but now an interception on the opening drive of the third quarter.
As we know, the key to everything here, don't get careless with the football.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something different.
Watson now to throw on 3rd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And the Texans first down.
On the ground, it's Eckler. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
2nd and 4 at the 16-yard line.
It's Eckler again. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A gain of 5. First down, Texans.
Here's Watson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over him.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL, and he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look,
he's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. And on that one, the production just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
At their own 17-yard line.
Austin's offense ready to go again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Again, it's Jones. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd down and 7.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 42. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line. From the shotgun again to Jones. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Man open down the middle of the field, and they move this all the way down to the 9. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Now a shotgun snap as they look to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Jake Elliott on for the point after.
He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left them reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know, they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
Fielded in the end zone. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt a return.
25-yard line.
Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here.
They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Kaiser White on the tackle.
We have played 3 quarters. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12.
13.
From the gun, Watson. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
4 yards.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Back to throw, Watson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And they'll get him down here at the 23. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Here we go on 4th. Watson. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter? It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal.
Oh, they'll get this to Metcalf on the jet sweep.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage.
He was taken down by
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. Now Jones. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal.
So quickly, Charles, what could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
At their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field.
And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat.
Now a 1st down throw, Watson. And Cooks has it over the middle. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. Watson off play action. The ball is out. Watson lost it.
Deshaun Watson sacked.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Watson firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 19 yards there on the catch and run. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Watson.
He dumps it to Eckler underneath.
Give him 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
They'll contain him to just 4, second down. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
They will indeed snap it to Watson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Austin's offense ready to go again. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A first down run here by Jones as he'll take it forward for a gain of about 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Ronald Jones.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. And that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
They'll go with Hill here on first down. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
I know you're trying to wring every yard out of a run, but I think 9 yards there is ideal in this situation.
Yeah, now next couple plays, you only need 1 yard. Keep that clock rolling with a lead here in the 4th.
And what you're saying is maybe if it takes you 1 or 2 more runs to get the first down, that's extra time, extra plays. Really hurts the team on defense.
Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put